Bonjour. I'm afraid that's the only French I know, so the rest will be in English, so hopefully that'll be okay. But as the guys have just said, my name is Patrick, and I run a design studio in London called Studio PSK. Today I'm going to just introduce a little bit about the studio and a couple of other projects, but I'm going to be mainly talking about one project in particular. So I think the work that we do in Studio PSK is quite diverse and quite unique because of that. We've got a few different people in the studio. We're quite small, we're quite young, but everyone comes from a different sort of background. So I studied product design myself, but we've got people who studied graphic design, who studied architecture, who studied software engineering, electrical engineering. So it means that the type of projects that we do can really vary in size and scale and the types of medium that we use. So for instance, we did a project for a shop in London called Selfridges, where we made a scale model of the surface of the moon, imagining what it would be like in the future if man is living on the moon. We made a fake bank inside London's Design Museum, getting people to question what money meant to them, and what the future of economics and finance was. And we do small things as well, like these objects which were used to forecast the weather, where you are, using very tangible, very haptic sort of methods rather than any sort of screen. But today I'm going to talk about one project specifically called the Polyphonic Playground. And it's on show as part of the Maintenon Festival at the minute, so if you guys are free over the next week, hopefully you can come and check it out. But I think the thing that sort of unites all the work that we do in the studio is this idea of communication and storytelling. The types of work and types of clients that we have really vary, but they all pretty much end up using design as a way to tell a story. And those stories can vary, just like the outcomes, but that's the sort of unifying thing. And this story is about what happens whenever you mix a electrically conductive paint, which I'll come back to later. People don't know what the hell I'm talking about, which is this stuff. One of the world's best beatboxers, which is a guy called Reeps One, and I haven't heard of him before either, so that's okay. And an adult-sized playground, which is what we ended up with and what's currently on show at Maintenon at the minute. And like a lot of good stories, this one starts in Miami. So the whole project sort of began by us being approached by a gallery in London who had a space in Miami that they wanted to do something with as part of the Design Miami Festival. The only constraints that they gave us were to use this space, which happened to be an indoor football pitch, which is a bit of an interesting context for a piece of art. We had to work with this beatboxer, and we had to use this really new material, this conductive paint, which looks and behaves just like any other paint, but it conducts electricity. So yeah, that's sort of explained. And because of the context of the indoor football pitch, we sort of wanted to try and make something that would relate to that context, and we knew, okay, this isn't going to be a traditional white cube with a gallery space, so we wanted to make something that was a bit more fun and something that people could actually go and interact with. And through our sort of collaboration with this beatboxer, Reeps One of the main things that really inspired us about working with him was his ability to create music using nothing but his body and his voice. And this was something that we thought was amazing. So combining these two elements together, we wanted to try and, I guess, give adults permission to play and to explore how they could use music using their bodies and using their environment, and this sort of polyphonic playground came out of that. So the idea was to create this adult-sized playground that when people played on it, it would create music. This was the first sort of scale model that we made to try and demonstrate the idea. I think I've got a short video that shows it. So yeah, this was the first sort of technical prototype that we made, and somehow, I'm not quite sure, it was enough to convince the guys at the gallery that they should give us some money to go to Miami and actually do this thing. I know what you're all thinking, mind blowing. Yeah. And that's, yeah, it was pretty rough and pretty rudimentary, but it was enough to sort of get the guys in Miami excited about the idea of having a giant musical playground that you could play with, not just with your hand. So we sent that video to them, and they liked it, they wanted to go ahead with the project. And then we had to figure out, okay, how do we actually make a giant musical playground? This was the sort of space that we had in Miami. So aesthetically, it already had a very strong, sort of unique aesthetic of its own. And this is something that we wanted to try and work with rather than fight with. We thought, you know, it's a really strong visual language already, and something that we really liked. So we wanted to try and work with that. And this sort of geometric black and white sort of pattern informed the very early aesthetics of the project. So this is a couple of images of the initial sensors that we made using the conductive paint. So what you're really looking at is the black lines are where we screen printed the conductive paint, and that behaves like a touch sensor in the same way as your phone screen works. So aesthetically, we wanted to try and borrow the language of musical notation, but also try and sort of subtly reference the aesthetics of circuit boards and electronics, as well as the sort of the aesthetics of the building that we were in as well. Sort of little did we know at the time that this actually had a really big impact on the way that the piece worked as well. We tried a lot of different variations on this, and it turned out to be functionally really important as well as aesthetically. So it was a really sort of manual process at first. As I said, we had to screen print every single sensor, and there was about 63 of them in total, I think. So it was quite a labour-intensive sort of process. And here's some images of us screen printing these. And we weren't even really sure if this was going to work. No one had really done anything like this before. This was 2 or 3 years ago. It was a very new material. The whole thing was quite experimental. We were trying to screen print directly onto acrylic rather than onto like paper. So again, there was loads of things that could have gone wrong, and a lot of things that did go wrong. So this is more images of us sort of preparing for the show in Miami. And just like that really early prototype, the first iteration of the project was quite rough and ready. We didn't have very long to make it. We had to do some of it in London, we had to do some of it in Miami, so there was a lot of things to learn along the way. But eventually we did it, and this was the first sort of version of it in the indoor football pitch in Miami. So yeah, it was received really, really well. People loved it. People were climbing all over there. The local kids had a great time. And it was a major success. We weren't really sure if it was going to work at all, and it did, which we were super, super happy about. But unfortunately, we made it in a way that meant that we couldn't bring it back to London. So somewhere out in Miami at the minute, I hope there's a giant adult-sized musical playground that still exists and people are still playing on. That's maybe not the case, but that's what I sort of hope anyway. But it was really, it was received so well that we got the opportunity to do it again, this time in Milan. And Miami was great, but we knew that it could be a lot better. So the first thing that we wanted to do was make sure that we could actually make a version that we could really get back to London. So in the sort of carpentry workshop in the studio, we were sort of making these panels that could all be flat packed and transported from London to Milan. It was a super, super intense week. The entire project, from the carpentry to the electronics and to the testing, was all done in 6 days. So it was quite a few sleepless nights and yeah, lots of coffee and yeah, it was pretty intense. But we did it in the end. We finally did it. This was the first time we managed to put it up and breathe a sigh of relief whenever we figured out that it actually was going to stand up and that it was going to work. So it was the first time we tried it. And the van was literally coming in about half an hour to take it to Milan, so it would have been pretty shit if it hadn't worked. And this is what it looked like in the space in Milan. So we were able to make like a number of really big upgrades to it, and this is pretty close to the version that we've got in Maintenon at the minute. But the space was really different. It was much more of a sort of traditional gallery space, I guess. Very clean, white space, and it looks beautiful in photographs. But we found that people didn't really engage with it in the same way, which was a really interesting observation, that people saw it as a piece of art and they weren't allowed to touch it and they could just look at it and sort of gently poke it when no one was looking. Whereas actually we really wanted people to sort of climb on it and try it out. And it was a really nice moment whenever people do actually touch it and they figure out that when they touch it, it does something. And that completely changes people's view of the piece. Again, I can show you a quick video of it actually in action. It's quite long, so I'll sort of skip through it.
It's functional. The reason it's interesting, I think, is a little bit different to everyone that's involved. The technicality of triggering the sounds is so large, and once all of that's done, then I can start making music.
My sort of favourite image from this project is this one here of a woman sort of like, was that me? Did I just make that sound? And it was sort of like, that was the reaction that we got the whole time we were there. I guess it really confirmed to us the value of doing a project like this. Because I guess before, when we were talking about it and there was nothing actually physical, we're saying to people, yeah, we're going to make this giant adult musical playground. People are like, why? Why doing this? What is this for? But for us, it was reactions like this that we were really looking for, that we really wanted people to sort of question and I guess be a lot more aware about how they move through the space around them. I guess, we touch so many things, so many objects every single day. I mean, you're all like sitting on seats now, you've got a pen in your hand, you're leaning on the desk or whatever. And, we go through the day sort of touching millions of things all the time without even really, thinking about it. But with this piece, every single touch, has an impact, and every touch makes a sound and has an effect. And we could see that, as people got more comfortable with it and experimented more and more with it, that they sort of They changed how they used their bodies as well. I mean, people would just touch it with their hand, then they would maybe start to climb up it, and they'd get a bit more adventurous, and they'd be sort of swinging from one thing to the next. And I think that was sort of one of the main purposes of the project for us, was to really try and encourage that sort of exploration about, I guess, how you use your body and what you can do with it. So yeah, I mean, a quick sort of note on the technology again, just anyone's interested. We made a few upgrades to this, but it was still pretty rudimentary. So there's still, as you can see, lots of cables. Like, it was a bit of a, bowl of spaghetti, and it worked well, but we still knew that there was things that we really wanted to try and push and make better and explore further. So after this, we again got the opportunity to take it somewhere else, and it just happened that one of the guys from Vans, the shoe guys that we've got there, were in Milan at the time for the festival, and they saw it and they loved it, and they really liked the idea of the performance with Reeps beatboxer. So they invited us to show it again in London this time, where they have a space underneath a train station in London called Waterloo. It's a giant space. They've got a cinema down there, they've got a skate park, but they also have a sort of art gallery space. So they asked us to come along and show it there, which was really nice. So yeah, I had to get that shot in, I'm afraid. But yeah, it sort of fitted quite nicely with their sort of ethos, and but more sort of interestingly for us was it was a really different audience from the previous times that we'd showed it. So in Milan, it was a very sort of typical art audience. The context was that very clean, white, minimal space, and people looked at it and weren't really sure if they were meant to touch it or not. In Miami, again, it was a bit of a weird thing because it was this art installation that just landed in this football pitch, and people really sort of weren't too sure. But whenever we brought it down to House of Vans, it was just swamped by kids. There was like millions of skateboarding kids sort of just running at it with helmets on and completely fearless. And I think everyone in the studio was pretty terrified that it wasn't going to last more than about 10 minutes. So the night that we opened, I think the maximum capacity for the venue was about 500 people. But about 3,000 people turned up, and there was a massive queue all the way out the door. And we were like, oh shit, is this thing actually going to survive the night? Because it was meant to be up for a month. And luckily it did, and it was great. And it again sort of showed to us how different audiences want to sort of behave with the piece. But it also gave us an opportunity to explore the musical side of it a bit more as well. So previously we just worked with Reeps, the beatboxer, which was great, and he really, explored it and used it very much like a musical instrument. But we wanted to see how other sorts of musicians would use it. So we invited a classical musician, we invited a sort of, I guess, more traditional sort of like indie guitar type band. We invited a sort of hip hop guy. So we invited different sort of people to come along and explore what the playground meant to them as a musical instrument. And it was really interesting for us to see how different people and different styles of music worked with the piece. Because basically you can load any sounds onto it at all. So really the triggers can be assigned to any sound, so it was quite a sort of flexible thing. It was also quite nice to actually be able to capture some of this audio that was being made on it as well. So we ran a little workshop using the conductive paint and allowing people to design their own album covers and then record the music that was being made on the playground, and then that would then be made into a vinyl record which they could take home with them. So this is a an example of one that we made beforehand. Might not be so easy to see. Yeah, basically we made this album cover that whenever you pressed this sort of little button down here, there's a number of LED lights that would then come on and flash. It's pretty simple, but it was pretty mind-blowing for the kids as well. And like no one had really thought about an album cover that could also do something. And it was a really nice way to sort of combine the musical side of it with the electronics and sort of, I guess, showcase a little bit how this thing is actually working, because it seems quite magical to a lot of people. So it was a really, really great opportunity to be able to show it at House of Bands, but it had been very well tested. It had been thousands and thousands of people that come to see it, a lot of crazy kids, and it really needed a bit of an upgrade. But as well as that, we also wanted to think about, well, okay, we've worked with loads of musicians, but what else? Who else might we want to invite to come and do something interesting with this piece? So the latest sort of collaboration, or the latest part of the story really for us, is this collaboration with a contemporary dance studio in London called Studio Wayne McGregor. And they do some amazing pieces of contemporary dance, sort of collaborating with technologists and designers and artists. And they saw it and they were super excited about using it. So we had this giant big space in East London, which was a sort of unused sort of factory block. And this was also an opportunity for us to make lots of upgrades to it that we wanted to do as well. So we got rid of the printed conductive paint boards, as they sort of had done all they could do. And we decided to replace these with very bespoke, custom-made circuit boards, which is, I guess, a little bit geeky, but it was able to add a lot to the actual performance, so we could have lots more depth to the music that was able to be played. It was a lot more reliable. But we were also able to add light to it as well. It's not so clear on the projector, but basically underneath each of the black circuit boards, we've now got sort of strip lighting, so whenever you touch it, the whole thing lights up as well. But the most interesting thing for us really was this idea of using dancers rather than just musicians as a way to explore it. I guess because up until this point, all the musicians that we worked with had very much seen the playground as a musical instrument, because I guess that's what they're used to making music with. Whereas the dancers saw it much more as a 3D space, a real sort of landscape or environment. And they worked really hard to choreograph a new piece of dance in a couple of weeks, where they pretty much didn't touch the ground at all. And this is like a really rare shot of one of them actually on the ground, but they were really pushing the boundaries of what could be done with the playground as a three-dimensional sort of structure. So they were diving from one panel to the next, and they were swinging, and they were using literally every single part of their body and every part of the playground. And what was really nice was just this idea of the evolution of the piece. So every time that we showed it, we learned so much about it as a piece of art or a piece of design, and also about how people might want to use it too. So this is sort of the latest thing that we've done. Unfortunately, the video for this is still being edited, so I don't have that to show at the minute. But the version that's currently on show in Maintenant is the same as this. So if you do get a chance to come down and see it, you'll sort of understand maybe a bit about what I mean whenever I talk about the way that the dancers used it and explored it. The last sort of thing that I really wanted to just quickly mention was this idea of evolution of the piece itself, both technically, aesthetically, sort of structurally. So we started with this as our very first aesthetics for the the sensors. This very sort of black and white, sort of geometric aesthetic. And like I said at the beginning, this was very much for sort of technical reasons as well as just aesthetic. So we tried it originally by just painting, you know, big black rectangles of paint for the sensors, but it didn't work at all. And we found that actually doing it like this made it work a lot better. And this really sort of informed how we developed the aesthetics of the whole piece. So we tried to then, for each show, create a new sort of slightly evolved visual language for how we communicated it, and the sort of the graphics that would go along with it, and the sort of printed media and things. So we made these posters for Milan, where we used the sort of silhouette of the structures themselves, but we also used the pattern that was on the slide and the rungs. And then this sort of evolved into this for the House of Vans, and then for the latest version, we really wanted to sort of showcase this idea of adding the light to it. So it's a project that keeps changing and keeps evolving, and we're not really totally sure where it's going to go next, to be honest. But the nice thing is that it always gets shown in a different context, it always gets worked with different people, and the way in which people use it from one place to the next is really different, and we keep learning so much about it every time we show it, and hopefully it's going to be a project that we can keep developing and keep showing and keep travelling around the world with. So like I say, if you have time over the next week or so, it would be great if some of you guys could make it along to come and have a go yourself and have a play and make some music, and yeah, just sort of explore it, I guess, and have any suggestions of how we might evolve it next time. So that's really it for now, but I'm sort of happy to answer any questions that none of that might have made sense at all, so that is also fine. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, sure. So the video is being edited as we speak, so hopefully that will be online in the next couple of weeks. And the best place to see it is on the studio website, so that's studiopsk.com, and we'll be uploading it there, and we'll be sort of tweeting it and trying to get it out as much as possible. So you hopefully will be able to find it if you do a bit of Googling as well. Maybe I can pass this around and then I can use the other.
I know what material of your ink you choose for trigger circuit.
So, the ink is so it looks like and it behaves like a regular sort of screen printing ink. So it's quite thick, but it's made from carbon, which is electrically conductive. So as it dries, all the carbon inside the ink sort of pulls together, and it conducts electricity like a wire, I guess. But it means that you can do really interesting things with it. We decided to use it to try and make sensors. So it works in the same way that your iPhone screen works, for instance. So if if you put your finger on the screen of your phone, it can sense that there's something there because your finger conducts electricity. So it senses that your finger's there. This works in the same way, but it uses carbon rather than copper or other sorts of metals.
Is there any technical terms that I can look for it? So because I want to make a sound card, but I don't want to put any IC circuit that's really thick inside the card. So maybe that's a nice idea.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that would work. I think if you Google conductive ink or conductive paint, you'll actually be able to find quite a few. The one that we used is from a company called Bare Conductive, and that's B-A-R-E, Conductive, and they're based in London. They're super friendly, they're really good friends of ours, and they would be more than happy, I'm sure, to give you help doing whatever projects you want to do with it. So I would suggest, even if you don't get it from them, I would sort of get in touch with them if you want to sort of explore different ways to use it. We've got lots of stuff online about how to use it as well.
And do we need to design some kind of circuit, like the graphic circuit, to make what? So we have to have a mnemonic of that to design circuit?
Yeah, so the design is pretty important in terms of what you want to do with it. So you have to sort of treat it like a normal electrical circuit, so it has to have a continuous loop to it somewhere. And the sort of thickness of the ink, how much you put on, the way you space it out, all those things have an effect. So I think really, to be honest, the best way is to just get some, it's pretty cheap, and just explore what you can do with it, and try things and see if it works, and try different things and see if that works. Like I say, there's the guys from Bare Conductive have so much knowledge that even for very specific things, I'm sure they'll be able to help. But I think the best thing is just try it, make some mistakes, and then change stuff and see what happens.
Okay.